Okay, check 1 2 3, check 1 2 3. I think we are good to go. Okay, should be recording right now. So, using a little recording device right here, we should be all good. Okay, good. All right, so today is Tuesday, February 3rd, and we are on class number 5 of CAD for construction of the spring semester. And we are going to continue and pick up from where we left off last week, which is where we're working on sketch practice. So you want to open that up, and it looks like this. This is where we left off last time. So why don't you go ahead and open that up and get that on your screen. And what we're going to do tonight is we're going to just kind of bug this one up a little bit. Then we're going to move on to something else and learn more about how to use basic Revit types of things, because we're still kind of a place where we're just kind of like getting our kind of finding our sea legs right now. So not going to run just yet. We're just still going to go kind of slowly. So one thing about this right here, does everyone have this open? Everyone have sketch practice open? Okay. All right. Good, good, good. Then what we're going to do here, I'm going to do a quick attendance here. How's it going? All right. So let me just kind of get you. What's that?
Seen outside?
Did I what?
I said, did you see her outside?
No.
Like, going on.
Getting crazy? Yeah, I was starting just as I came in. So yeah. So let me just go ahead and do this. So we got Jakai. Yep. And we've got Sierra.
Here.
All right, Jennifer.
Here.
All right. Nick Coey.
Here.
Yep, Nick. Yep, very good. Been playing hockey recently?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sunday night.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
How was that?
Good.
Yeah.
Fun.
All right. What time do you guys get ice?
10.
10.
Yeah.
How much do they get for an hour now?
I have no idea.
Oh,
Part of a league, so.
okay, gotcha. Okay, yeah, because they we used to pay like $100 for an hour years
It's
and
like
years and years ago.
250, I think, nowadays.
What is it?
It's like 250, I think.
Is it? Yeah, yeah, it's crazy. And but yeah, and they usually cut off 10 minutes, don't they? You gotta get off 10 minutes early for the Zamboni usually, or at least that's how
We
we used to
usually have time for a whole game.
Okay, all right. Very good. And then we got Alan. Hey, how you doing? All right, good. Then we got let's see here. Aiden, how we doing? Hey, over back there. I'm doing good. Quinn.
Here.
Yes. And then we got Amadou. Yep. Hey. And then we got Anna. Yep. Okay. Then we got Philip. Is Philip here? Not seeing Philip. Okay. Am I missing Philip? Let's see here. What do we got here? Okay, not seeing Philip. Okay. Jacob, right here, right up front. Yep. And Paul Rodriguez. I don't see Paul. Okay. Anthony, how's it going? All right. Then we got Addison. All right. See you back there. Kanea.
Right here.
Kanaya, sorry. All right. That's a long I. Okay, I'll remember that. I'm suitably chastened. Ace Williams and Elisha Williams. Okay, yeah, very good. Okay. All right, so good everybody here. So what we're going to do is we're going to pick this right back up. So let me just kind of take a look at your screens, make sure you guys all have this open, because that's where we're going right now. You want to open up the sketch practice, which looks like mine. It was the drawing that we were working on last week, and we should have saved that or mailed it to ourselves. As I'm looking at your screens, it takes there's a little bit of latency here, so I'll just wait a second. But I've got 3 out of, okay, that's better. All right. And y'all want to open that up. And so, and if you guys could just leave that in 3D view so I know we're on the same place, that would be awesome. If you don't have it, let me know so I can, we're going to continue on, but just got to make sure we're all there. Okay.
I'll be there shortly.
I believe you will. I believe you will. All right. Okay, let's see what else we got here. All right. Okay. All right. Okay. If you don't have this, we did this last week. It was the last thing we did. If you were here last week, we saved it as sketch practice. You should have it on your desktop. Yeah.
I wasn't here last Thursday and I have time to catch up, so I'll do it when.
Okay. All right. Yeah, it's going to be handed in tonight, so just pay attention to what we're doing here, and then we will take it from there. Okay. So it's a we're just gonna just do a little more, but it's all good, and no worries. All right, and okay, so I think we're looking good here. I think we're recording everything right now. I have not used this system before. Well, I have used it, but I've never used it in this class, so I think we're good to go. Okay, so Sierra, you don't have it. Looks like everybody else pretty much does, and we will move on from there. Okay, if you don't have this done, don't worry about it. We're just going to finish a few steps right now, and then we're going to go into something else. Okay, so here's what we did last time. What we did last time is we went ahead and we did this. And when we did it, we actually started from what we call the floor plan. Floor plan is when you're looking down at a building, essentially as if you were to cut the roof off and look down at it. That's what you're seeing right here. So now this is a 3D view. We talked before about how with Revit you're able to see a 3D view pretty much at any time, and that can go ahead and let you see how things are looking. Because again, the whole thought is you are modeling. Since you're modeling, you always want to be able to take a look and see how that is shaping up. One thing that we want to point out here, and I'm going to go over here and point it out over here on the screen, because if I stand up there, you can see it, but people who are watching the video won't. So let me just go over here, and I'm going to go ahead and just point out over here. Can you guys see over here where I'm moving my cursor? You've got over here, this is your project browser. So let's all do this right now. Let's go over here. You've got floor plans. So if floor plans is not open, you click the plus sign and then you'll see it. And let's double click on level 1. So double click on level 1 and it'll look like this. And as we do that right here, I'm just going to verify everyone's there. Let's all go to level 1. Okay. Level 1. Okay, good. All right. Okay, so now that we're all taking a look at that, that's looking good. And now we're going to do is, now that we've done that, I want to point out that this is level 1. It looks like this right here. Now, one other thing that I want to do, just to kind of explain how we navigate around in Revit. Again, up here, you've actually got right here, you got tabs. And the tabs let you choose which view you're looking at. So so now we understand level 1 is highlighted, it's bolded, so therefore we know we're on level 1 right now. If we were to click on 3D, we go there, but we're going to leave it right now. So what we want to do is one more thing. Now, remember what we talked about here. There's this little triangle to the right of the house. So we don't always just want to click on the house, but we want to click on the triangle to the right. So click on the triangle to the right, and you'll see that there are 3 choices. We're only concerned with the top 2. The default 3D view is essentially our exterior view, but what I want to do right now is put in a camera view. So click on camera. Now when you click on camera, a little camera attaches to your cursor. And we're just going to put a camera in our building right around here, just in the corner. And now you're going to click to drop the camera there. And then when you do that, you pull it out. Now this is the direction you're looking at. It gives you these 3 lines, and that's essentially your target. So just go ahead and pull it down in this direction and click. And after you do that, you're going to see it looks something like this. So just leave it there for a second. I just want you to get a feel for it. And then you can open it up like I'm doing right now to see just what we have done so far. And now once you've done that, go ahead and turn it on, make it realistic just to see what's going on. And you're going to get a view like that. And it's getting pretty impressive already without a whole lot of effort. So you want to go ahead and open that up so it looks like that. And again, you have the freedom of pulling these little blue controls to actually see more. That is true of any of these views. You will be able to do that to increase how much you're seeing. So that's what we see right there. Let me take a look and see how you guys are doing. Okay, looks like you're getting there. All right. Yeah, and if you didn't put your camera in a good location, just drop it again. Okay, and that just means you just go back to level 1. And if you're not seeing something, just go ahead and go back to your camera, and you go here, you click here, and just go ahead and click here, and you pull it out like that. That's, so you may have to repeat it, but you can go ahead and get as many views as you want. And so that is how we have that working, and that is what that looks like. So just go ahead and make that happen. Okay. All right. Okay. All right, yeah, Amadou. Yeah, and then just go down and change the visual style on the bottom left of your screen. Yeah, to make it realistic. That's good. And it looks like you might be missing a floor. So let me kind of jump in there real quickly. And just going to take over your screen just for a second there, just to make sure we're all in the same spot. And I'm just going to take a look at this. and I don't see a floor. So let me just do this real quickly, see if it's there. It's not, so I'm just going to go ahead and put in a floor real quickly. So we did this last time, so I'm going to go to floor. Now, anytime you want to put in a floor, you choose the kind that you want. And in this particular case, I think we used a wood finish. So I'm just going to pick the exterior corners here. Let's go right to here, and I'm going to go here, and I'm going to go right from here to there, right down like that. And then when I've got that, then what I'm going to do is I'm going to line these up. So I'll go here and do that, and go here and do that. And that is how we're able to make this happen. And we will be getting better with this as time goes by. All right, so we got that going on. So now I've got that. That looks good. And then I press the escape key. We're good to go. Hit the modify button, hit the green check mark, and we're good to go. And if I go to my my 3D View 5, now it looks like that. And then if you zoom out here, when you click on this, you're able to take this and just open this up. And what you're able to do is use these different controls just to see a bit more of it. Okay, then we're back over here to level 1. So that is how you're able to go ahead and to give yourself a 3D area. So we go ahead and take a look, and that's what it looks like. Okay, now that we see that, let's go back to level 1. So to go back to level 1, you go up here and click on the level 1 tab. So you're able to go from view to view to view and see these different items right here. So that is what we have going on so far. The only thing that we're going to do now is we're going to put in a ceiling. Now to put in a ceiling, let's all go to level 1, make sure on level 1 right now. And what we're going to do is over here on the project browser, you'll see that you've got ceiling plans right here. Now, to put in a ceiling, you have to be on the ceiling plan. Well, I shouldn't say you have to, but it makes life a lot easier, okay? So go ahead and click on ceiling plans right here. Click on level 1 so you can see, and you'll see a view. When double click on level 1, and it'll look like this. So double click on ceiling plans level 1, it'll look like this. And we're going to put in a ceiling like we did before. So we did that. So now that we're all here, let me sure you guys are all there. And we're now looking at ceiling plan level 1. So Anna, what we're doing right here is we're going here to ceiling plan and clicking on level 1 right there. And should be seeing that. Okay, good. Now what we're going to do is this. We're going to go over here to where it says ceiling. So just go ahead and click on ceiling. And when you click on ceiling, you can use automatic ceiling. But if you use automatic ceiling, it's going to give each room its own ceiling. We don't want to do that. So we're going to use right here, sketch a ceiling. Sketch a ceiling's got a little pencil. So click on sketch a ceiling. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to use my rectangle. Again, the rectangle's right here. You got the line, you got the rectangle. So click on rectangle, and we're just going to go inside corner, down to the inside corner, right like that. And then you're going to click the green check mark, and that gives us, it'll give us that look right there. And when you're done, you can click on the modify arrow over here, and you're good to go. And at that point, yeah, it looks like you guys all have that. Now, just to show you what just happened there, go back here to the 3D view that you just made. It should be up here, and it should be called 3D view 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 or 5. Just click on that. I'll come and help you guys who need help. But you should be able to go ahead and take a look at that. Who needs a hand with that? You guys seeing it? Working? All right. All right, so what you got is a ceiling now. Okay, so the ceiling, now what you're able to do here is you're able to increase the look of this right now simply by doing what we did there, which is putting in the ceiling. Yes, you guys are getting it. And so now that gives you an idea as far as how that all works. All right, looking good, looking good, looking good. Anyone have questions about that at all? I'm looking right now, and I don't want to call you out, but if you have a question, if that didn't work for you, let me know. Sometimes things go wrong, and it's not your fault, so there's no shame. But I'm taking a look at a couple of these. Okay, if you put in the ceiling, please take a look at this view. If you don't know how, let me know, or I'll just come and help you out. But you should have a ceiling right there. Now, you're going to notice my ceiling is a little too low. Don't worry about that. That's some refinement we can do later. Okay, looks good. Okay, so now what's the takeaway? The takeaway from this is that when you're working with Revit, you are able to go ahead and create a very realistic area. Now, this right here is a pretty crude version of what we call rendering. Rendering is where you take an area that's been designed and you walk through it. You take a look at it, and you can see the finishes and so forth. And the thing where this gets really valuable, I'll bring some samples next week, is like when you want to show a customer what is this actually going to look like at the end. Very, very effective, because if they can see exactly what it looks like, it's a lot easier for them to sign off on it. And so, who here, anyone here married? Anyone here married?
Soon,
What's that?
soon.
Soon to be? Okay. So one thing that happens when you get married is when you decide to do something, like let's say you want to change something in the house, okay, that kind of thing. Or if you have a customer, if you're in if you're a contractor and you want to show them what it's going to look like. Well, the biggest thing they want to do is like they don't want to take a chance on something they're not sure about. So what happened? My wife and I got into a discussion, which turned into an argument about what we're going to do with our bathrooms. We kept on coming up with different ideas about let's do it this way, and I said that's not going to work. And she said let's do this way, and I said that's not going to work. And we were just doing this, and so what we finally did is I finally decided, you know what? I think I'm just going to try it to do Revit because this is what I do for a living. And so I pulled into Revit. What I did is I went out and I got exactly the tile that we wanted, which was actually a hex tile, like a classic hex tile, and we put subway tile on the walls, classic. And so I did this, and then I went and I actually picked out the Kohler actual faucet that we wanted, got the actual one, put it on the wall, got the actual vanity, put it right in place, put a sink in, put a mirror in, put lights in the ceiling, all the things done. And then I kind of like, after I got it all done, I said, what do you think of this? She goes, that's what I want. And that's what you're after. That's what you're after. And so once I had that, the argument was over. We both were like, that's it, that's what we're going to get. We hired a tile guy, showed it to him, and he says, yes, I will do that. And he did it. It was great. So this is where you start the kind of baby steps. We're not there yet, but we're getting there. So this right here, all this stuff can be changed. You can change the kind of floor, the kind of windows, the kind of ceiling, the finish on the walls. That can all be changed. But that's actually something we're going to get to later. But so far, so good. Looks like you guys are all with me. So let's do this. We are going to do one more thing just because we can. And what we're going to do right here is I'm going to go back over. Okay, you guys are all there. Let's do this one more thing. Let's go back to Revit. Let's go back to level 1. Go out here to level 1. And when you go out here to level 1, we now see this right here. This is the view, okay? And now what it's missing is a roof. There's no roof on here. So we're going to make a very simple flat roof because you can put roofs on too. And once you put a flat roof on here, you won't be able to see down into it anymore. And frankly, from this point, let me show you one thing before we go any further, just because it's kind of interesting. Remember that we have different ways of looking at this. We got views. You got level 1. We've got a level 1 ceiling. By the way, can you guys notice that the icon for the ceiling looks like dropped-in ceiling tile? Can you guys see that? All right, so pay attention to those icons because they really help you to understand what's going on here. But over here, you got the 3D. Click on this 3D right there. When you go to 3D, take a look at it and notice what you got there. You got a ceiling that's dropped down there. See that ceiling's dropped down? That's because the ceiling went in as we told it to. Now, it's a little bit low. We're not going to worry about that right now. So instead, what we're going to do is we are going to put on a roof. So to put on a roof, we're going to go here to floor plans and we're going to go to level 2. So go to floor plans over here in the project browser and go to level 2. And when you go to level 2, that pops open like this. So that pops open. Now, here's what we're going to do. We're going to just make a plain Jane flat roof, okay? Nothing tricky, nothing spectacular, no slope, just a flat roof. We would probably never really put this kind of a roof on, but we're just going to do it to get the understanding. Now, how do we do that? Well, in Revit, we have the tools. You got walls, doors, windows, and is there a roof? Well, indeed there is. So if you click the drop down from roof, there's different ways to make a roof. And so when you talk about making a roof, this is where you got to kind of think about what you want to do to make the roof. And you take a look at that drop down right there. You got roof by footprint is the first one. And that's the most common, and that's what we're going to use right now. So you have roof by footprint. So go ahead and click on roof by footprint, and then we're going to follow the prompts. So go to roof by footprint, and what you're going to notice is it tells you over on the side that you've got a selection. Okay, it says basic roof generic, and what is the thickness of the roof there? Can you guys see it? 12 inches, that's right. So it's a 12-inch roof. Okay, now all we're going to do here, we're going to give it an overhang. You guys see right here, there's a couple things I want you to take a notice of here. Can you guys see what this says right here? Can you guys see what that says? Define slope. And now, we're doing a flat roof. So do you think that should actually be checked? The answer is no. So if we say no, it will not define a slope. It will just be flat. So click on, so uncheck it. So you click there, we don't have that. Now, we're going to do one more thing. We're going to give it an overhang. So go over here and change it right here. This right here says overhang. Just type in 1 and press enter. And that's all we're going to do. Just type in 1 and press enter. Then what we're going to do is we're going to make a roof by using this. Now this tool is different. When I hover my cursor over this tool, what does it say? Pick walls, which means you can use the walls you've created as the boundary for your roof. Okay, so all you do is hover the cursor over this top wall, and you'll notice that as you do that, you see a dashed blue line above it. When you see the dashed blue line, click, and a purple line shows up. That's now a boundary. We're now going to do the same thing over on the right, and on the bottom, and on the left. So when you do that, you'll have 4 lines on each, well, 1 line on each side, so top, right, bottom, left, and you've got that, and you've defined it. Now, once you've done, you're going to notice that it actually extends slightly beyond the wall because we gave it an overhang. When you're done, we now have to make a decision. Do we abort mission or do we say we want it? We're going to hit the green check mark. So hit the green check mark, and it says, would you like the highlighted walls to attach the highlighted walls? You go ahead and say attach. Go ahead and say attach, and then we're going to go over here, and let's take a look at it in 3D, and you will see it now with your roof. Kind of looks like a hockey rink, big flat roof, right? You know, well, actually, usually there's a slight angle, but you know, you get the idea. So we got that. Okay, so now you got that, and it's a plain Jane roof, and that is how we'd make that happen. Okay, all right. If your roof, yes.
I didn't have a lot of those options.
Okay, let's take a look. Let's take a look at what's going on here. And that is, let's see here. Jennifer Collins, let me find your screen because you guys are all over the place here. Let me see it here. Okay, you're right here. And let's try this again. Okay, yeah, here's the thing. And here's the thing. Let me just kind of take over for a second. This is, what you're seeing right now is a Revit, for lack of a better word, it's an anomaly, and it's like what we call an undocumented feature to save face. But it means Revit's not doing what it's supposed to do. So I'm going to click over right here. I'm going to click there. Now I'm going to hit the save button. When I hit the save button, now it releases it, okay? It's just something that happens. If that ever happens to you, it's not you, okay? It's Revit.
Okay.
And so, okay, so you got that right there. So if you hit it, now your options are right here. So now we're going to go over here, and we'll do what we talked about. So over here, we're creating a roof. And I'm not seeing those options either. So let me see this right here. Let me go here. And okay, there it is. So we're going to uncheck define slope and go to 1 here. Now, there was no tool selected. That's why I was doing this. So now that I've done that, I'll do the first one and you do the rest. You see that right there?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to give you control. Stop viewing. And you're going to go ahead and touch the other 4 sides, okay? And after you've touched the other 4 sides, the other 3 sides, hit the green check mark. And it should ask you if you want to attach the walls, and you're going to say yes, and then look at it in 3D. So go to the house 3D view so you can see the whole thing. Yeah, and then press your escape key to release it. Okay, Anna, I see that you put a slope on your roof, and that's very common. I'm just going to show you how to change that. Just going to jump into here right now. So you notice here's what happened right now. Take a look here because this is what happens if you don't uncheck define slope. So we can fix it though. So I just click on this roof, and when I click on the roof right there, it shows me what it looks like. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to double click on the roof, and when I do that, it looks like this. And it might look kind of crazy, but that's okay. We're gonna fix this. All we're gonna do is we're gonna take these slopes out. Okay, so I've got this right here. So I'm going to click on this right here, and I'm going to say I don't want a slope there. I'm going to click on this line here. I don't want a slope here. So you uncheck it, and this is just so you can always go back and forth. You just have to, know what Revit's doing. And in this case, we put a slope on, didn't intend to, so we just take it away. Not a big deal. And then the overhang should be 1, and I'll do that. And we'll see if that works. We'll hit the green check mark, and there we have it. You're good to go. Okay, so that is how we're able to go ahead and make this work. So we've seen that a sloped roof is possible, but a flat roof is also possible. So we're going to look at that a little bit. We're going to look at that as we go along here. Any questions about this before I move on? I think you guys are all set. I don't see any hands up, so I guess we're good. Okay, so now we're going to do this. So let's go ahead and let's save this project. So to save the project, we are over here in Revit. And to save, we're going to go right up here and go to File. And let's go to Save As. And it should say Project. If it doesn't, save it as a template, and I'll come back and help you. But Go to Save As Project 1. I'm assuming you can save it as project. So click on Save as Project. Now, you're good. It's going to go out here. Now, this is how you want to name it. I am actually a real stickler about naming your projects. And the reason why is this, because the industry is a stickler about naming projects. When you are working with companies and they're working with hundreds of drawings and hundreds of streets and so forth, the drawing convention, the filing naming convention actually matters a lot. Because if you misname these things, it can just make havoc and make life a lot worse. So you want to be careful. So all we're doing right here, the only thing you need to do here is, if you didn't name it Sketch Practice, you want to name it Sketch Practice, capital letters, okay? I'm a sticker about capital letters because they just stand out a lot better. So Sketch Practice, space, dash, space, and then your last name. That is how you want to save it. So save it, and that's what it should look like, and go ahead and click Save. So you've got that, and we are good to go. Now, there is more that we could do with this, and there's quite a bit more that we could do here, but I think we're just going to call a day on that. We're just going to leave that alone. So we did quite a bit, and we saw a lot of things about how this could work, okay? Before we leave this alone, though, I want to show you one more thing that's just a value-added thing you can do here. We didn't look at this yet. You see down here where it says elevations? Can you guys see that? Okay. Click on East. When you click on East, double-click on it. When you double-click on East, you get this. Kind of cool, huh? And go ahead and change that to realistic. So you double-click on there, and what you're seeing now is, take a look at this right here. We talked about levels. That's level 1, and this is level 2. And what's happening is, when you see that right here, level 1, notice that over here, your floor is underneath that, meaning that level 1 is going to always be the top of your floor surface. Does that make sense? Always, 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 okay? That is how levels are defined. So your levels actually become a very important definition of what your project's going to do. Like right now, we don't have a basement. Could we put one in? Yes, you could just add a level. But you got 2 levels, and we are good to go. So this would be great if you're in Florida. There's nothing but ranches in Florida. But you've got level 1 and level 2, and we're good to go here. And there's a 10-foot distance. You could change that as well. So that is what we have going on right there. Level 1, level 2, and we are in good shape. Okay, let's go over here. Let's go over to our elevations again. Let's go to north. When you double click on north, it's going to look like this. We'll do the same thing. Let's take a look here and go to realistic again, and that is how this looks. Okay, so we got this all going on here. So you're seeing a pattern. Now, wait a minute. Hey, Tom, we didn't put in elevations. Oh, that's right. Revit did it for you. All you got to do is draw something, and it's like, when you go to a restaurant, you say, hey, you gave me fries. Yes, you get fries and a drink with the combo meal. So this is a combo meal. So when you're doing any kind of Revit project and you're making a model, automatically you're going to get elevations. That's just how that works. So you don't do any extra work. You just have to know where they are, and that's where they are. Now we're going to go down here and look at south. So you take a look at south, and again, these are all going to be pretty much the same, but however you put in your windows and doors is going to look like that. And that is what we have there. And then lastly, we'll take a look at west. You take a look at west, and there's that. And so now what you're looking at right now is, this already is a fairly impressive set of construction documents you could give to someone. You say, okay, here's my first cut at this warehouse space that you want. Okay, it's 1 floor. Here's the elevations, and say, oh, okay, well, could we move the windows over? Yeah, we could do that. Could I change the interior on? Yeah, we could do that. Could I make the second floor higher than 10 feet? Yeah, we could do that. So those are all things you can do. But already you've got a huge investment with very minimal effort. Okay, so Revit's doing all the work for you. This is why it's taken over the industry. This is why everyone's using it. So that's why we are studying this. Okay, so that is what this looks like. Okay, now to finish this off, let's go up here and click on our 3D home, which looks like that. So let's go to there. And let's all do that. Go to your 3D home, looks like this. With your home icon, little Monopoly house, and you'll go to your 3D view. Now we'll wait for you guys to get there. Okay, and again, to get there, what you do is you go up here, and this little Monopoly house up here, you just click right on there, and that will give you your default 3D view. Okay, just waiting for everyone to get there. And I know that sometimes there's a delay, so I don't want to call anybody out, but I just understand that there's latency in the system, which means there's a bit of a delay. Okay, now here's what we're going to do. We've already saved it. Now what we're going to do is we're going to close out of all these different tabs. Now you can close it out. You can close them out by just clicking on the X, and you can close these out one at a time, just like that. Okay, or what you could do is if you bring your cursor right up here, you see this right here? I'm hovering my cursor right up at the top. And can you see what that says? That little red X over like what looks like some sheets. Can you guys see that? Close inactive views. That means it'll close any view that you don't that you're not in right now. So click on that, all of them close. So it just cleans up your interface really easily. So you can shut stuff off, and you can open them back up. But that's just a way to go ahead and make that work. Now, let's go ahead and save it one more time. Click on save. And did anybody have a situation where it's saved as a template? Okay, that's a yes. Okay, for those that have saved it as a template, these next steps are for you. Everybody who saved it as a project, just close it. Go to File and Close. All right, now for those that have saved it as a template, what you're going to do is these are steps you're going to go through right here. You're going to go here. You're going to go to File, and you're going to go to Save As right here, and you're going to save it as a template. Okay, and that's Jennifer and Ellen, right? So click on that. And what you're going to do is you're just going to go ahead and save this as Sketch Practice space dash space, your last name. And you're going to notice it says RTE. Can you see that at the end of it? Okay, RTE stands for Revit Template. So you just want to put that in there and then go ahead and save it as a template. Okay, so go ahead and save it as a template and then close it. Then go to File and Close. And it'll close out of there. Now we're going to make a project using that template as our basis, okay? So now go over here and go to New. And when you go to New, you're going to browse out to where that template is that you just saved. So you browse out to here, and then I've been telling you to go to Desktop, so I assume we're going to go there. Go to Desktop. And then you want to go to your desktop, and you should be able to find it right there, your Revit template file. Do you see it now? Are you guys seeing it? Unless you saved it someplace else. If you saved it someplace else, all bets are off, and I can't, because that's where I'm telling you to save it. If you saved it someplace, okay, I'm getting blank looks.
So
Okay.
create a new project?
What's that?
It goes create new, is it project?
Yes, you want to go create new project. Then you have to go and browse for the template right here. If you're following me?
Yeah, I'm already
Okay.
ready to save a project.
Oh, okay, good. And so what you're going to do is once you're there, you're just going to go ahead and you're going to save it as a project, the same thing. So it's going to be called Sketch Practice, Sketch Practice space dash space, your last name. And then you're going to do that. Okay, so you want to save that. All right, Alan, you got that okay? Is that a yes? Okay. Let me know if it's not, because I want to make sure you guys have this, because you're going to be submitting them now. So I want to make sure you guys all have them in the right format. So you never want to submit a template, because you don't want to get in that habit. Because even though I can open it up, you don't want to do that. So let me go here, and looks like you guys. Oh, okay. Let me just take a look here. All right. Kind of check this out here. All right. Okay. Okay. All right. I'm looking at your screen right now there, Alan. Did you guys have? Okay. Let me kind of take over here for a second. All right. It's not okay. Let me go back to that, and let's make sure we're all set. Okay. So I'm going to go here, and I'm going to, because I don't want you to lose anything. And so what I'm going to do here, unable to access the model. Okay. Interesting. Okay. So we got that. All right. So let's just kind of go here, and okay. I'm going to go here, go to File, and I'm going to go to Save As. I'm going to save it as a template. Looks like you already did this. Okay, okay, I'll just go here and put this all in caps. Okay, like that. And we'll save it. Okay, and then let me do this one more time. Just make sure I save it in the right place. All right, and it went to downloads. That's why. Okay, it went to downloads. Okay, so we'll close out of there. So we'll go to File, and we're going to just go out to here. I'm just going to move that out from the downloads. We're going to get this over to here. Okay. All right, and we're going to take that, Put it on your desktop. Control V, drop it there. Okay, good. All right, now what we're going to do is we're going to close out. So go to File, and we're going to close. And then what we're going to do is we're going to go to New, and now we will be able to browse out to the template, which is out here. And our template is going to be right here, Sketch Practice. And we're going to hit Open, and we'll hit OK. Now since we use this as a template, it's got all this information, which is basically we're just basically taking a drawing and copying it. And now we go to Save As, and now we can save it as a project. So that's really all we're doing. And so it's and this is something that probably all of you will run into at least one time. And so just take note that it's not terminal. There's nothing terrible about this. You just have to make sure that you get this all okay. ACTICE. Okay. Okay, and get rid of that. Get rid of the RTE. All right, and then we'll save it. Okay, so now we got that saved, and I'm going to do one more thing because I wanted to see all these in the 3D view. So we got that. I'm going to save it one more time, save that, and then I'm going to close out of there. So I'm going to go ahead and close out of that project. Go to File, and we're going to close. Now, once we've done that, we've just made that happen. Now, what you're going to do is we're going to submit this to Brightspace. So to submit it to Brightspace, we go out here and we go out to Brightspace, which is out here, and under Brightspace, actually, I put this under the Classroom project. So go out to Brightspace and go to the Classroom project, and you should be able to see at this point Sketch Practice. Let me know if you guys can see that. You can see it? Okay. And then what you're going to do is click this drop down here. Actually, yeah, click on Sketch Practice. And then what you'll be able to do is you should be able to go right here, Add Attachments. So you complete the Sketch Practice assignment, which you did, and submit it here. The naming convention's there. So you go and add your attachments by clicking here and then going out and finding it. So you go out and find it. In this case, it's going to be, in my case, it's going to be on the desktop. And I'm going to go ahead and find my Sketch Practice, and I'm going to go ahead and select it, and do that. So you go ahead and grab your Sketch Practice, open it, and you go ahead and you do that. And that is how you do it. Now, once you've done that, that's your second project. You now have 2 projects that have now been submitted, and that's a good thing. All right. Anyone need a hand with that? I think you guys should all be there. See how we're doing there? Anyone have a problem with that at all? Okay. Okay. Okay, and once you find that, you just go ahead and submit it. Anyone having trouble with that? All right, Amadou, how we doing there? Did you get that done?
I'm not done with it.
Okay, all right, well, I'll tell you what. Just if you're not done with it, just close out of it. You can finish it later. I just want to give you a chance to upload it right now. But if you're not done with it, we're going to move on. So just save your work and close out of that file. And we're going to start. So you should be ready to go right now. And you should be seeing this right now. Now, I've got a bunch of files here. You will not have those files. So what we're going to do now is going into here right now. We just did Sketch Practice. Now what we're going to do is we're going to do something else. We're going to go ahead and we're going to open a file that we had looked at before. But I just want you to be clear about how to maneuver around in Revit before we go to the next step. So next step we're going to do is we're going to go over to here and we're going to go to Brightspace. And in Brightspace over here, what we're going to do is we're going to go to our course home. And under the course home, we're going to go here and let's see here. I believe this is under, I think it's Revit Basics. Yeah, you want to go ahead and you want to use the Revit Basics. Okay, so click on the Revit Basics module. And when you go to the Revit Basics module, you should be seeing this Revit Modern Hotel Final. You've already downloaded this once, so we're just going to download it again just in case somebody doesn't have it. Can you guys all see this Revit Modern Hotel Final? Okay, so what you want to do is click on it, and then you're going to go right here and go to download. Go ahead and download this. Now, since this is a Revit project and not a template, we can just double click on it and open it because it's an RVT, not an RTE. So this is a project. So you should just go ahead and click on open file, and we'll come back into this familiar item right here. Let's go ahead and do that. Yeah, this is under Revit Basics, Amadou. So let me kind of get you there, and we're gonna go out here. And what we're doing right now is you want to go to Revit Modern Hotel Final. Yep, and then you want to click the download button. And after that comes up, you'll be able to double click on it. Just go ahead and double click on it, and you should be in business. Okay. Okay, so now that we're all here, what we're going to do is let's all kind of start on the same location, which is this right here. Now, we're taking a look at this, and again, I want to kind of go over some of the basics of how to move around in Revit. Now, as a reminder, we're in this view right now. To zoom in, you roll the wheel forward. To zoom out, you roll the wheel backward. Okay, so that's just simple pan and zoom. And then to pan from side to side, you hold the wheel down, and you can go ahead and move it from side to side like that. So just go ahead and practice that a little bit, get familiar with it. And then once you've done that, we're then going to hold the shift key down. When you hold the shift key down, we can then rotate it around so we can see the other sides of it. So hold your shift key down, and you can rotate this as much as you may need to. So we go ahead and do that. So just go ahead and rotate it so we can see the rear of the building. Okay. Okay, now, and to get back to our view, our original, what's called our home view, if you hover your cursor over this cube and you click on a little house, that brings you back to your home view, which looks just like that. Okay, very good. Okay, so now that we've done that, we've kind of that. Now what we're going to do is over here we have all of, this is a completed project, by the way. This right here is a Revit hotel, which has pretty much everything you would need to make a complete project. It's got your floor plans, it's got your ceiling plans, it's got 3D views, it's got elevations and sections and detail views and a lot of other things. And we are going to essentially do this same kind of complete set of drawings for a couple of different projects. So let's go over here and let's go ahead and change our, let's go ahead and click on the plus sign next to floor plans. And we did this last week, but let's go ahead and go to floor one. And go ahead and open up floor one. It looks like this. And we talked about last time when you open up floor one that there's a lot of information here. And some of that information you may want to see, you may not want to. Just to review how we did that. Let's say we wanted to hide this grid. We want to hide this column grid. So you click on one of the lines of the column grid, and then you right-click your mouse, and you go here to hide in view, and then you can choose whether you just want to hide that one grid line or the entire category. We're going to choose category. When you click on category, that cleans up our view as we just saw there. Okay, and now what we're going to do next is we're going to do the same thing by clicking on one of these elevation markers. So click on one of these elevation markers, and we're going to do the same thing. You click on, and the elevation markers look like a square with a triangle on top. So click on one of those. There's at least 4 of them in here. Right click, and you're going to go to hide and view that category, and that cleans that up. And then we're going to do the same thing with our right here. If I go right here to the one of these tags, that's a wall tag. I'm going to right click there, hide and view that category. So we go ahead and do that. Let's see here. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to click on this as a section marker right here. These are section markers, and to hide those, you have to click on the line. If you click on the head or the tail, it doesn't let you hide. At least previous releases you couldn't. I don't think you can in this one either. So click on the line of the section marker, right click your mouse, go to hide in view and choose category again, and those get hidden. And you're seeing a pattern here. And the last thing you're going to do is go to this, which is your windows. Okay, so click on one of these lines that point to the windows. You're going to right click, go to hide in view, and choose category, and then that's hidden. And then it looks like this. So it's greatly simplified when you do that. Okay, so that is how you hide elements. Now, just to review, let me take a look at, make sure everyone's with me. All right, so yes, looks like you guys all did well with that. Now, what we're going to do now that we've done that is, let's say we have a customer who says, Tom, I've got to see where all of my column grids are. You got to show that to me. So I'd say, oh, okay, that's not a problem. All I would do is go down here. Now, remember, what we learned before is last week is there is a way for turning items on and off, and that is this light bulb. Okay, hover your cursor over the blue light bulb and tell me, what does it say? Yeah, reveal hidden elements. So click on this and a bunch of red shows up. Just to review how this works, okay? So let's say we decide, oh, the customer wants to see the column grid, okay? So go ahead and click on one of the lines of the column grid, and once you do that, it's just reverse of what we did before. You right-click your mouse, go to unhide in view, category, and then they're no longer red. They turn into a gray background. So once we did that, that's done. Now what you're going to do is, once you've done that and your column grid has now turned to gray, you're going to go down here and you have this light bulb that's now yellow. If you hover your cursor over that yellow light bulb, what does it say now? Close reveal hidden elements. You click on there and this is what you have. So essentially you have your floor plan with only the elements you want to see. Does that make sense, you guys? All right, and you could also hide other things as well. So we have that. So now we have your 3D view here and you have floor one here, but there's more. Let's go down here, scroll down a little bit more. We're going to scroll down here and let's open up floor two. Floor two is right here. So double click on floor two. And when you open this up, you're going to see that this looks different. Now, this looks different because it's a hotel. Therefore, the floors above are all for guest rooms. So therefore, it does have a look that we would probably look at and say, oh, well, of course it's going to be different because of that. So we have this going on, and we could, turn different elements on or off. We're just going to leave it right now. So we have that. Now, notice what you have up here at the top. You have 3 different tabs. 3D, floor 1, and floor 2. So whatever you want to see, you can go ahead and go through that. Now we're going to go down here again, and we're going to go down here, and we're going to go to the building elevations here. So click the plus sign to the left of building elevations, and let's go ahead and choose south. So double click on south, and it gives you this view like this, which looks great. And then we're going to go here, and we're going to click the visual style, and let's use consistent colors for this one, just so it gives us that kind of look. So you got your consistent colors, and we're seeing this right now, and we see that big blue curtain wall area. That's called a curtain wall, by the way, and that's what we're looking at right now. Also, you're going to notice that beneath the first floor, you've got pavement, and then underneath you have another level. That's actually for your basement. Okay, so you got the basement there. Okay, make sure we're all there. Okay, good. Okay, now what we're going to do next is we're going to do something where, now that we've done that, let's see here. So now that we're taking a look at that, I'm going to show you something. Let's go down here, and let's say that we want to see our levels. Okay, we don't see the levels here. So go down here, and you have this blue reveal hidden elements. Click on the blue reveal hidden elements. Let's see if the levels show up. And they do. Over here's the levels. Every parapet, roof, those are your levels, okay? So what you want to do is we're going to do the same thing. We want to reveal the levels. So click on one of the red horizontal lines for one of these levels. Click on one of those, and you know what to do. You right-click your mouse, unhide in view, the category, and then the levels go gray. Why? Because they're no longer hidden, so therefore they're not red. And then to get out of this view, you go down here and you hover your cursor over the yellow light bulb. What does the yellow light bulb say now when you hover your cursor over it? Close it. So click on there, and now you see your levels. Can you guys see the levels now on the right? Okay, so what we did there is we went ahead and we just simply told Revit we want to see more information. So all this is, you guys doing great. You guys doing great. Okay, so we have that going on. So now, let's say we wanted to get the full impact of just what's happening with this model. To do that, let's see here. Type in these keys. Type in WT. Type in WT. When you type in WT, that stands for window tile. And what it does, it takes your, and we just typed that in. We just typed in the letters on your keyboard. On your keyboard, there's a W key, a T key. Type in WT and press enter. You should see 4 different windows. If that doesn't work, press your space. Yeah, it all worked for all you. Good, perfect. Now, you're going to notice that when we did that, they're all kind of zoomed into a kind of generic section. So type in ZA. Type in ZA, that's for zoom all. And when you type in ZA for zoom all, you can see all of them. Now, this is an extremely useful set of views. I'm seeing them all at the same time. So let's say this actually comes in really handy when you're doing like wall edits and so forth, and you just see the thing from multiple angles. You can go in here and you actually see things from different angles. Like, I'll give you an example here. Watch this. Just to show how this works, I'm going to click on this wall right here. So I click on that wall. Can you see how it lit up at the top left? All right. The reason why is they're all connected. You'll notice it's also lit up here. It's also lit up here. So essentially, you're just looking at the same thing in 4 different views, like 4 cameras on the same thing. All right, I'm going to press my escape key. But that is how Revit works. Now, at this point, you'd probably say, okay, that's great. I don't want to see that anymore. So click in your 3D view. Click in your 3D view to make it current. You can tell it's your current view because the text will be bold. Over here, floor 2 is not bold. South is not bold. Floor 1 is not bold. 3D is bold. So we have that. So what we're going to do right now is we're going to go ahead and we want that to be our only view. So to go ahead and get back to where we were, you type in the opposite. Instead of typing in WT, type in TW. You type in TW, you go right back to here. So TW is the reverse. TW. You type in TW, you're back to here. So you type in the letter T and the letter W, and that should put you right back there. All right. Okay, TW. And I apologize if your keyboard's hard to see, but you should all be seeing that. So TW. Now that we've seen that, double-click the wheel on your mouse. When you double-click the wheel on your mouse, you do what's called a zoom all. Double click it, and that brings you out to there. And then what we're going to do is just to kind of like complete this little tour up here. This is our close and active views. And close and active views has a red X, and it actually has a couple of view kind of representations. So click on that, and everything's closed except your 3D view. So we just did a kind of a quick tour as far as how things work. I just want to show you one more thing, and then we're going to move on. Okay, now over here, we want to look at down here. You've got elevations, interior elevations, but then you got sections. We haven't looked at a section yet. So if you go down here in your project browser and click the plus sign next to sections, we're going to double click on east-west building section right here. When you double click on that, it's going to show you this view right here. And that is a section view. And once you see that, it's helpful to go ahead and put on consistent colors or even realistic or textures, one of these, just to give a little bit more color and a little bit more descriptive character as far as what you're actually looking at. All right, there you go. So you have that, and this is what it looks like. Okay, so now what we're looking at is this, and of course we could go through the same type of procedure where we turn off the grid or we turn off the levels. We're just going to leave it for right now. And if you zoom in here, it's kind of cool because you can start to see like, hey, there's furniture in there and so forth. So just a lot of really interesting stuff is starting to kind of crop up here in this final version of this hotel. Kind of interesting. So that's a section, and those are all things that we can do here. Okay, let's see here. Then I will show you one more thing. Okay, down here, as long as we're down, let's go down a little bit further. Down here, you've got sheets. Underneath your project browser, click at the bottom, toward the bottom, click on the plus sign for sheets, and let's go ahead and choose the A00 cover sheet. And it shows you this cover sheet right here. So that's a cover sheet. So when you're ultimately going to give this to a customer, you're able to place these on sheets so you can see what they look like. Let's look at the site plan. And then just kind of go through these. Let's look at the ground floor plan. And this shows you what these sheets look like. And as you take a look at these, you're able to see that, okay, that's pretty, that's very helpful. I can understand what this would actually do as we go through here now. Okay, so let me take a look and make sure you guys are all there. Yeah, so those are your sheets. And ultimately, that's where we're going. We're going to be, at the end, you guys are going to walk out of here with a set of 9 sheets of a project that's actually printed on 24 by 18 sheets. That's what you're going to do. All right, now, to get back to here, we're going to click back on 3D. Click on the 3D view right there. And we're going to go up here and we're going to close inactive views. And we're just going to go ahead and close out of this project. So to close out of this project, you're going to go up here to go to File, and you're going to go here to Close. And do you want to save change to ArcFinal? We're going to say no. So you get out of there. Okay, now we are going to go someplace else now. What we're going to do now is I'm going to show you something interesting here. And for this one, I am going to go ahead and I'm going to take over your screens just for a minute. So let's go ahead and get out of there. Looks like you guys are all out. Please exit out of there. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take over your screens. All right. Okay. All right. Anthony, did you exit there yet? Okay, and what we're going to do is this right now. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to take over your screens for just a few minutes. I'm going to go ahead and show you the full screen to all you all. Oops, says 1 student, so that's not right, so I got to release it. Okay, we'll do that again. Show teacher full screen, and yes, we're going to continue, and that's going to do this. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to do a quick look as far as how we start a Revit project. Now, as we talk about this, and we talk about starting a Revit project, it begins by using a template. Everything we worked with so far, we started by using a template, and then you can link in a CAD file or an existing Revit model Okay, if they're available. Now, what we did is we just started with essentially an empty template. We didn't pull in a CAD file. However, the reality of this is that in the industry right now, so many people have an investment in AutoCAD that you very often are going to start a floor plan or a project with an AutoCAD file. AutoCAD is the de facto standard by far. It's not even close. Okay, so everybody who's anybody uses AutoCAD. So much so that if you use one of the cheaper versions, like maybe a SketchUp or an Onshape or something else, all of them allow you to save as the DWG, which is the AutoCAD data format. So they all understand they have to speak this language. It's kind of like this. There's an expression called lingua franca that actually is an old expression. And typically what it means is a universal language. And it comes from back during the days of shipping in the Mediterranean, like back during the Renaissance and so forth. You had shipping going on in the Mediterranean. So what you had ships that are going from Italy and they're going to Greece, and you have ships from maybe Africa or Egypt, and they're going up to France and so forth. And they're all kind of like milling around. So then you have Portuguese coming in, and then you have people coming in from who knows where, okay? And then as they get together, nobody speaks the same language, okay? So there was no real standard. So what the shipping industry did, being the language of commerce, they standardized on kind of a conglomerate, a bastardized version of all those languages, and just kind of threw them all together in something called lingua franca. It wasn't Latin, it wasn't French, it wasn't Portuguese, it wasn't German. It was none of the above. It was a bunch of it all, kind of like Spanglish. You know, you take it all, put it all in a big pot, and okay, that's it. Or Yiddish, which is half German and half Hebrew. Okay, so that's what happened. So the lingua franca that they had back then is actually it was a thing, and so everyone spoke it. So if you went into a port, you'd stop speaking Portuguese or English or German, and you start speaking lingua franca. Okay, now. AutoCAD is the lingua franca of the design desktop world. It just is, okay? And it has been. And the fact that I'm still standing here, having first used AutoCAD in my life in 1989, which is now whatever that is, 37 years ago, and sitting down there and using this, and the fact that we're still using it today and it's still the standard is really unusual and very remarkable. And it tells you that somebody did something right to keep that at the top of the game. And I'm going to throw another thing out here before I get into that. So AutoCAD is the standard. You know what else is kind of remarkable? Is anyone here a fan of Lego or have a kid that's a fan of Lego? Or, okay. I'm a fan of Lego for my own self. I built a few years ago. I had some pretty serious heart surgery, and my wife bought me the Saturn V. Have you seen the Saturn V? The Saturn V. It's the rocket that went to the moon. Yeah, this thing it's a meter tall, and there's 1,969 pieces in it. 1969. Okay, now. And the thing is, it took me a while. So I'm sitting there right now. The grandkids always say, "Grandpa, can I play with that?" And I feel like the guy in the Lego movie. It's just like Craggle the thing. And anyway, but so anyway, no, we got another Lego for you. We don't want to get into that because I don't want to deal with 1,969 pieces. But what's my point? My point about this is that you've got these things that are so common that everybody uses them. When you go to the Lego store, anyone go to the Lego store? Anyone ever go there? Okay, you go to the Lego store. Okay, have you ever noticed that there's people this big? You notice that there's people this big that are like 2 years old, and there's something there for them. And then there's people that are as old as me or older, and there's something for them too. That's marketing genius. Think about it. Anyone from 2 years old to 120 can walk in there and walk out with something that they really like. And they'll drop $500 for it, for like the Lord of the Rings set or whatever else. Have you seen these things?
Yeah, I collect myself. I do flowers.
Oh.
I put the flowers
You're the
in.
botanicals.
Yes.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah, good idea.
So,
Okay, so that's great.
And they're in my living room. My kids like, and I'm like,
And you become that guy. You become what is it now? Captain Business or whatever it is, or was that the guy's name? I don't remember. Anyway, but you know what I'm talking about. Okay. So president business, and so he's the boss, this guy. But anyway, so the point is that AutoCAD is still the standard. It just is. So what we're going to learn to right now is something that will actually happen in real life to you. If you ever begin to do any work, you will actually work by starting from an AutoCAD project. So I'm going to take a look at how this goes. So over here, let me make sure I got make this actually working. Yeah, you're all seeing my screen. Okay. So over here, starting a Revit project. So we're going to talk about this. And what you would do is, first of all, you talk about selecting a project template. Now, I am providing you templates. There are all kinds of templates out there. You can make your own templates. But templates, really, when you talk about working with Revit, you want to get a template that is suitable for your project, okay? Because it does so much heavy lifting for you, okay? Can you start with a blank template? Yes, but you're going to do a lot more work, okay? So just be aware of the fact that your template, it's not a small thing. You want to do your homework before you settle on a template. Here's another thing. In some places, like if you go across, my son is, I don't know if I told you about my son. I've got a son, he's in England. He actually lives in England now. And so what he's had to do is he's an architect. And so when he works with Revit or AutoCAD or anything, he's got to go into metric because they use that metric over there all over the place. Now, when you go to Canada, Canada's 50-50. Half of it is going to be metric and half it's going to be feet and inches. That's kind of crazy. So I've done a lot of work in Canada, so I know what that's like. But you pick a project template. Now, as you pick a project template, you then go ahead and do all this. And then, I will share this. When you actually get into the real world, they have a thing called Revit work sharing. And what that means is a number of people, let's say you got 5 different people are working. One's working on the exterior walls, one's working on the column layout, one's working on the furniture, one's working on the electrical plan, and one's working on the HVAC. They can all be working simultaneously at the same time in the same model. Everyone can be working on the same stuff. And if you need to make a change, it'll actually lock up that particular thing so other people can't touch it while you work on it, then it releases it. So it's really elegant. It's really amazing. Now we get into it. Linking and importing files. CAD files can be imported or linked into a Revit project, full stop. So yes, you can bring them in, which is what we're going to do here. As an example, a designer might lay out a floor plan using the standard 2D AutoCAD software, and then you need to incorporate that information in your structural model. Exactly. And you can actually trace over the top of it. CAD file formats that can be imported include AutoCAD, DWG and DXF, MicroStation, SAT, Trimble SketchUp, AXM, and so forth. So you got all these. When linking or importing a CAD file, you can specify the level where it's going to go. So we're going to do this. We are going to take a very simple example. So what you would do is you go ahead and you'd pull in an AutoCAD file, and after you've done that, you could then use it to give you a starting point for where you want to go. So that's what we're going to do here. We're going to jump into here. And this talks about how to do it, how to start a project and link files, as you see right here. So I'm just going to do a quick, I don't even have these files right now. So we're going to do a little different example right here. So I'm going to show you what we're going to do, and then we're going to do it. Now, setting up levels, we're going to get to that later too. But for right now, I just want to go through the steps as far as how we would bring in a CAD file and begin to trace over the top of it. So let me show you how this works. I'm going to go back out here, and I'm going to show you this. So go back out to this location here, and I'm going to go over here to my Brightspace, and I'm going to go over here where it says table of contents, and I'm going to go over here, and I could go to course home, but I'm going to go down here to this one is called Revit Basics. So I'm going to go to Revit Basics. When I go to Revit Basics, I have this right here, CAD Floor Plan 1 Revit Insert. Can you see it says DWG? That's an AutoCAD file, okay? And it is actually a CAD floor plan that I've deliberately made simple so we can actually put this together really easily. So what I'm going to do is this is what you all are going to do. You're going to go ahead and go here. You're going to click on this, and you're going to download it. So you download this, and that's a CAD file, okay? So the CAD file's right there. We're not going to open it. But what we are going to do is we're going to go back over here to Revit Basics, and I got something else that I need, and that is the Revit Floor Plan 1 template. I told you that I'd make a template for you, and I did. So you're going to go here, you go to the Revit Floor Plan 1 template. So I go here, and I download that. So I'm downloading two things. One is a CAD plan, one is Revit Floor Plan. So I just double-click right on this, right? No. If you do that, you'll have to save it as a project, and then, or rather, save it as a template and save it as a project. It's not the end of the world. It's just one more step that can be confusing. So I'm going back to Revit, and I'm going to close out of this. I'm going to go over here, and I'm going to go to New. So go to New. I'm going to browse. I'm going to go to my Downloads, which is under Desktop. I go to Downloads, and here is my Revit Floor Plan 1 template. I click Open, and I'll click OK. And when I do that, it's going to do this. It's going to crunch because this is an older file. I've been using it for a few years, but it does the trick, so I haven't changed it. It's got to do that because 2018 you basically always have to upgrade models like that. So we have this going on right here. So now that I've done this, this is what I'm going to do. Now, I downloaded that AutoCAD file, so this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to go to Insert, and we're going to go through this together. I don't expect you to remember this. So I'm going to Insert, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go over here to Link CAD. I can link a CAD file. So I click on Link CAD, and then I'm going to go over here, and here is my, see that one, Floor Plan 1 Master? You guys see that? That is the one. So I'm going to grab that, and I'm going to go down here. I'm going to do a couple changes here. The colors, yeah, I think the colors for this one, I'm just going to preserve those. I think that might be easier. I might change it, but let's go and do that. I'm going to say Current View Only, and I'm just going to go ahead and click Open. So I click Open, and it drops this in here. Okay, see that? So that's an AutoCAD plan. And just like that, it's in place. Now, I've made this really, really, really easy for you, purposely. Okay, so once you've got this right now, if I take a look at it in 3D, there's nothing there. Okay, there's nothing there because there's nothing 3D. So it's just like that. Now, if you want your lines to be thick, well, yeah, if you want your lines to be thicker, you can go up here. This device, I haven't really talked about this, but this is your thin lines, and it looks like a fat line with a slash through it going into a thin line. Okay, so that's what you do. So I'm just going to open the, make those a little bit fatter. I'm going to zoom in. Now that I have these, we know how to make walls in AutoCAD. So all I'm going to do is this. I'm going to go here and go to my Architecture tab, and I'm going to go to Wall. So I click on Wall, and when I click on Wall, I've got this basic wall. And I guess I need to change it to Exterior, right? Because that's a basic wall interior. And I have an exterior. Yeah, I got to change this to exterior. Yeah, exterior wall 5 inch. It doesn't really make a difference, except this one has some siding on the outside. So we're going to use exterior wall 5 inches. Okay, so there's an interior wall 5 inches. That's the default. We want to change to exterior because that's what we're going to do. So go to exterior here. Now watch this. I'm going to go into here, and notice that it finds it right there. It finds the intersection because it's trying to find the center line. So I click here, and boom, look at that. I'm drawing over the top of it. So I go over here, and I'm just going to go around the perimeter. So it finds the X here. And if that is a little too thick, I can thin that down. And now I'm going down here, and I'm going to go right down to here, and I'm going to click right there. Boom. Okay, looks like I just missed that. Oh, gosh, okay. Let me try that again because I got out of there. I shouldn't have. So I'm going to go down here. And I'm just going to the, you see how you see that little X there? The X is telling you it's right smack dab in the middle of the wall intersection. So you just look for those X's. That's all you got to do. And you're just going to go around the perimeter. You're not going to worry about the interior just yet. Just go like that. And we go ahead and bring this all the way up to the end. And then we're done. I'm going to just press my escape key to end it. And I take a look at it in 3D. And now, oh yeah, there's some walls. Pretty cool, huh? And we just traced over the top of it, just like that. So we're able to make that happen. Okay, now, once I've done that, I can just do the rest of it by doing interior walls and so forth. Okay, so I'll just do this really kind of quickly, just so you get the idea. Now, your interior walls are the same thing. So I just go back to wall. I change the wall type to interior wall. Okay, which is interior wall, which is this right here. And then you just do the same thing. You go here, and you end it just like that. And it goes exactly on top. And you can press your escape key when you want to end it. And then I just go to here, and I just go like there. And all I'm doing is walking around here. And when I need to end it, I'm just going ahead and I'm hitting the and what you want to do, you're going to notice I'm not stopping for the doors. You do not stop for the doors because the doors carve the walls open on their own. So you just go ahead and go through here, and you go ahead and make that happen. And that's all the walls there are. And when that's done, I take a look at it again in 3D, and that's it. That's it right there. So this is kind of like a what do you call that? TDX? Is that what you call the exterior? I think that's what you call it, the exterior lumber right there. So you've got that, and then after you've got that, we then have talked about how to put in doors. This is a 36-inch door, so I'm going to door, and I just go ahead and take it right there. And that says 30 inches. So I'm going to change that to 36 inches. Now, when you make it 36 inches, it fits right there, just like that. So you can zoom in a little bit to make it fit perfectly. And don't worry if it doesn't fit perfectly. But you see what's doing right here? It's actually cutting the wall. So I don't have to do that. And if it's in the wrong direction, if you press your space bar, your space bar flips it. And then I go over here. And I think you're getting the idea. And I go there. Now, the only other thing, I'm just going to go to 3D one more time. So you've got this right here. And then the other thing is going to be some other things here. So I want to get you guys out of here at a decent time. So what I'm going to do right here, I'm going to save this real quickly. So File, Save As. We're going to do this together. File, Save As, this project. And this one, I'm going to call this one, what's the name of this one? Let me see. Let me go over here. And this one I'm calling, I think I'm calling it, Revit Floor Plan 1 last name. That's what it's got. That's what I call it. Revit Floor Plan 1 with my last name. So I'm going to go here and Revit Floor Plan 1. And I'm going to give it a number. You won't give it a number, but I've done this a bunch of times, so I'm just going to go ahead and do that so it doesn't get mixed up. And I've got that. I'm going to close out here. So go to File, and I'm going to close, and now we're going to do this together. So now that I've done that, I'm going to give you your screens back, and we're going to do this together. So over here, I'm going to go ahead and stop showing the teacher screen, and now we're going to go through those steps together. So let's all do this together now. We're going to go over here to Brightspace. So go to Brightspace. You're going to do exactly what I did. So to go out to Brightspace, if you're not sure where to go, you go out here to your course home, and then this is under Revit Basics. So you find the Revit Basics. And once you've found the Revit Basics, the first thing you're going to do is the very top thing is your CAD Floor Plan 1 Revit Inserts. That tells you what it is. It's going to say DWG file. So you want to download that. So you click on it, and then you click on Download, which is right here. So you click on Download, and that's going to download that. It's going to take a second to crunch. It's giving me a second version of it, which is fine. And then once you've got that, you're going to just go back over here to, you can go right back here to Revit Basics. You see you can navigate right like this, like there. And then you go right back to there. We're then going to download the Revit Floor Plan 1 template. So we click on the Revit Floor Plan 1 template. Just click on that. And that's going to pop up like this. And when you see this here, we're going to do the same thing. We're going to download that. So doing just what we did before. So we download the Revit Floor Plan 1 template. We're not going to double click on it because it just makes an extra step for us. So rather than do that, we go over to Revit. So go over to Revit, and those two things should be downloaded. So yes, okay. All right. And looks like some of you guys have already gotten there, which is fine. Let's go through these steps right now. We'll do this together. And what we're going to do right now is this. So now that we've done that, we're going to go over here and we're going to click on New. Click on New for the model. And when you click on New, it gives you this new project. You want to click on Browse. So you click on Browse. We're all doing this together now. And then we're going to go over here and we're going to go to our desktop and then to Downloads. And then we're going to go over here and we're going to choose our Revit Floor Plan 1 template and click Open. And when you do that, this pops up and you're going to click OK. And once you've done that, it's going to crunch and you know it's being upgraded, and that is how you know you are where you should be. All right, so we have that and we are in good shape. Okay, all right. Okay. Okay. Okay, all right, all right, Amadou, we doing okay there? Did you download this already?
No, when I downloaded it, good. I could only do it.
Okay, all right, and then, okay, good, and then let's go back to here. And then all right. Okay, so they downloaded, so we're good to go there, so go back to Revit. And now what we're going to do is we're going to go here, and we're going to go to File, go to New, and we're going to go to Browse. We're going to browse out to our desktop, and going to go to our downloads, and we're going to choose this Revit Floor Plan 1 template. You're going to hit Open, and you're going to click OK for the project, and it's going to crunch. And it looks like, once that's done, looks like this, okay, and that is what we want. Okay, so now, once we have this, here's the next step here. So now here's what we're going to do. Now what we're going to do at this point is we're going to import the CAD file. So to import the CAD file, you're going to go up here to the Insert tab. There are these tabs at the top. Click on the Insert tab. And then when you go to the Insert tab, you're going to go over here to Link CAD. Link CAD is over here. So you click on Link CAD, which is there. And when you click on Link CAD, it then looks like this. And now what you're going to do is you're going to go over here and you're going to click on Floor Plan 1 Master 2020. And before you click OK, you want to make sure that this says Preserve. You want to use Preserve for the colors, and you want to choose Current View Only. That's all you want to do. And then once you see that, once you have this set to Preserve, and this is Current View Only, click Open, and that's going to give you this. And then zoom into it. Okay, so zoom into it. Very good. Now, we're going to start by putting in the exterior walls. Looks like someone's got, okay. So now what we're going to do is this. So I'm going to zoom into this right now, and I'm going to zoom into the upper left corner, and now I'm going to go back to the Architecture tab, which is here. So we click on Architecture, which is here, and we're going to go to Wall. And the wall that we have right here is an interior wall, 5 inches. We don't want that, so we have to change it. So to find the wall that we want, we click on this little triangle to the side, and we can select it by just using this little slider bar, and we go up here until we find exterior wall 5 inches. So exterior wall 5 inches, you'll notice that it's actually thicker on the top. The preview is thicker. So you want to take your cursor and bring it right here to the intersection. You'll see a magenta intersection. That's exactly where you want to go because we're using the center lines. You guys with me so far? And then you click here, and then it's just, you're just going to go around the exterior. And going around the exterior is pretty straightforward. You just look for that magenta X. And this is why the CAD plan is such a great way to go, because the CAD plan is letting us get an exact representation of this floor plan. And when you're all done tracing it out, press your escape key and click the 3D view, and it should look like that. And I'm going to take a look and see what you got. So take a look at it in 3D when you're done, just to make sure that you got that. Now, if you make a mistake, you can undo. Control Z is undo. Okay, that is what we would do. Control Z, or you can use the undo on your screen. All right, I'm going to let me kind of jump out there real quickly, and let me kind of see what's going on there. Just going to kind of what's going on here. So it looks like you've got like one there. So we'll go ahead and do this, and all right, put a little wall. Okay, I need to change this to exterior. Okay, so we go right here. All right, and that is how that looks right there. Okay, now, okay, all right, very good. And what we're going to do right now is we have that. Now, let me release your screen here. Okay, so what we just did there is we have the exterior. Now, what we're going to do next is we did the 3D walls. Looks like you guys all have that. Now we're going to do the interior walls. Now to do the interior walls, we go back to level 1 by clicking right here. And then we need to change, we go to our wall command again. And we're going to go over here and we're going to choose interior wall. So we go down here and we're going to choose interior wall 5 inches. So choose your interior wall 5 inches, and it's just like I showed you before. You're gonna like you basically just let your mouse just kind of like walk around here, and you're just gonna take it and go right to the intersections where you'll see a magenta X, and we're just gonna go ahead and do that, and that's gonna let us go ahead and make this work like I'm doing right now. So we go ahead and do this, and we're gonna do this, and then I'm gonna go continue on through here, and I'm going to go like that. All right, and then we're going to go ahead and go over here and then down to there like that. Okay, so once you've done that, take another look at it in 3D, and you should have your interior wall. It should look like that. All right, you guys are getting it. Nicely done. Nicely done. All right. Okay, if you did it differently than yeah, if your walls are not looking like mine, you might not have changed the wall type. Like I'm taking a look at yours right now there, Addison. And the thing is, let me just kind of show you something really quickly here, because I see what happened there is you actually have some interior wall. You use the same wall for the inside walls as well. So let me just kind of like show you what you do. If that ever happens, it's not a big deal. But I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to, let's see here. Okay, so just go ahead and I'm going to click on, I think that, that's an exterior wall. So all these are exterior walls. So I'm just going to go through here and grab all these, because at this point they all need to be moved. They need to be just converted or just, adjusted so that they are interior walls. Okay, and this is, again, easy to do. So we go there, and once we have that in place, we're going to change this. So we change it right here to be interior wall. We'll do that, and that changes those, and so look like that. Now over here I can see a couple of walls that actually are facing the wrong way, but that's okay, we can fix that too. So if you click on this right here, you can right click your mouse and choose change walls orientation, and that will flip it to the other direction. So if your wall is, like in this case, the drywall is facing out, you can change the wall's orientation. This is something that we all learn pretty quickly because all of us do it. Okay, so we have that. And then what is this right here? What is that? No, that's good. We're good to go. All right, and so I'll let that go. And so that is how that works. Okay, so now that we have that right there, let's all, if you guys all could do this so I just know where we're at, if you could all take a look at it 3D so I can verify that we're all here, because I want to help those who may not be there.
There's some walls that don't meet.
What's that?
Some walls that are a little short, they don't meet the exterior wall.
Okay, all right. We can fix that. Okay. Let me kind of jump in there real quickly and see what's going on there because looks like you got something not quite the way we want it. So we're just going to go out of here and all right. I'm just going to kind of do this and do this. Okay, so over here in level one, what we're doing now is we're going over here to wall and interior. Okay, so you got the right wall, and then what we do is we just click here. And the way, and this is, it takes some getting used to when you work with Revit. But I'm going to go here and I want to pick this point right here. Okay. All right. I'll pick this point here if I can. All right. And it's not finding that wall. No, it is. Okay. Yeah, it's kind of, when you're doing this kind of like I'm doing right now over connection, it can be a little bit dicey. So I'm just going to show you how to do this. All I'm doing is going here. And when you see that X, you click. And that's what we're after right there. Okay. And so this is what you do here. You just kind of drive this along like I'm doing here. We go ahead and make that happen. We go ahead and stop that there. Now, once you got all those in there, we're going to take a look at it in 3D, make sure we're in good shape. Okay, and there we have it. Okay, so now that we've got this, we are now in a good position. I think everyone's got that. Anna, do you have that? Okay, take a look at that in 3D. You want to finish, press your escape key to get, yeah, there we go. Okay, good. All right, now, so at this point, we're looking good, and we're gonna wrap this up for tonight. I try to get done for the next class, make sure we have sufficient time to save this. So now, we are going to just do, we'll go ahead and put in the exterior doors right now. So to do this, all the doors are the same. So let's go back to level one. I want to go to level one. We'll just put all the doors in. All the doors are 36-inch doors. So we're going to go here to where it says door. So click on door, and you want to change it. Here it says, can you guys see it says single flush 30 by 80? You guys see that? Okay, so all of our doors are supposed to be 36 inches. So we'll click here and change the door to 36 by 80. You got to change it. So change to 36 by 80, and then you can just go ahead and put it right here. And you'll notice there's a universal not allowed sign until you touch a wall. Once you touch the wall, you can drop it. And the door will actually cut the wall. So this is all you have to do, and make it happen just like that. And then when you place it right here, you can press your space bar to rotate it. And we're just going to go ahead. Don't worry about the numbers right now. We can adjust those as later as we need to. But right now, we're just going to go ahead and put these doors in like I'm doing right here. And that's going to give us that kind of a look just like that. Okay, and once you've done that, you've got the doors in, take a look at it in 3D, and you've got a very respectable looking floor plan. Let's go ahead and do that. Make sure you got your doors in place. And take a look at it in 3D when you're done. Pretty cool, huh?
How you flip it?
What's that?
How you flip the door?
You press your space bar with it highlighted. Okay. All right, looking good. All right, when you're done, take a look at it in 3D just so I know we're all done because we're going to wrap it up and we're going to save this.
Excuse me.
Yeah.
I had accidentally exited out my level one at first, so now I can't put my storage.
Okay, let me see what's going on here. Okay. Okay, let me let this go. All right, let's see. I got more control now. Let me see what's going on. So 3D, we got those. So we're at level one. Okay, good. And then we're going to go to here. All right, and then we should be just able to go to a door. And okay. Well, okay. Oh, did you? Okay, you left. Okay. Oh, okay, so okay, let's see what's going on here. I don't know what's happening here. All right. Okay, I'm not sure what is happening here. All right. Let me close out of that. We'll try this again. All right. Okay. What did it go through you? That's weird. I don't really know what to make of this. That looks about right to me, but I don't know why yours is doing that. We're just gonna have to figure that out later. Okay, so what I'm gonna do right now, we'll get out of here, and I'm gonna go to my 3D view here. Okay, which is here. Okay, we'll just go ahead and do that. I'm not sure why it's doing this, but I'm gonna close out of here, and I'm gonna save this. So we're going to save as, and we're going to save it to your desktop. And we're going to name it Revit Revit Floor Plan 1 with your last name. Okay, all right. What the heck? All right, all right, everyone save your work, please. I'm trying to work with a student right now to get this done. Please save your work, and you want to save it as Revit Floor Plan 1, which you already should have done. But looks like that's not happening here. Okay. Okay. All right, that's not, let me do that. Okay. All right, I'm gonna have to help you, Elisha, because right now that's not working. Okay, for everybody else, let's all go do this. And so what you want to do is you want to save it. You should have it saved. Okay, we're gonna save this right now. So you're gonna go up here and go to File, Save As, Project. And we're going to go ahead here. I'm going to call it Revit Floor Plan 1 with your last name. And then I'm gonna put a number in here because I need to. And we're going to go ahead and do that. And then we're going to save it. And once you've done that, we're just going to go ahead and close out of it. And we're going to continue on working this next week. Please save your work to your desktop. Put it onto a flash drive. If you don't have a flash drive, mail it to yourself. But or mail it to me. That's what you want to do here. So we got that, and I'm going to go ahead and that's going to be it for right now. So that's as far as we're going tonight. So I'm going to go ahead and let you guys go. Elisha, I will be over there to help you, and anyone else who maybe needs some help. Other than that, just save it. Make sure you have it saved, and we will come back and get that next time. And I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to stop recording.